And with me is none other than senior editor at Project Bodybuilding, Taylor Normando. And on today's show, we are kicking things off with IFBB Pro Kevin Jordan. KJ, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Not much, guys. Just trying to stay warm here in this chilly Chicago weather. Taking it easy. How about you?
It's a warm front where I'm from. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky, and it's not even that bad.
Yeah, I hate you right now.
Yeah, it's not too bad up here, actually, either. I'm in fucking Canada, but the West Coast treats me well.
He's in a territory. He's in a northern territory. So.
A British colony, actually, Matt.
he bows to the Queen every morning. So this show, for those who haven't heard it yet, it's an interview show, 60 minutes each guest, and we get all the good topics. We don't make it about us. We make it about the guests. So KJ, you last competed about a year and a half ago. You won nationals in 2013. And you've been kind of hibernating for a year and a half, and you're getting ready for the Chcago Pro on July 4th weekend. How's your long off season been going for you?
Actually, it's been awesome, man. It has been a pretty long off season, but I think it was one that was much needed. Everybody talked about jumping into the pro ranks, but for me, I want to make sure I can be successful at it. And I mean, obviously, to me, my legs were a glaring weakness, my back, things like that. And I wanted to bring those areas up. But at the same time, last year, I also did a ton of traveling for my sponsor, G.A.T. So it was one of those things where, I kind of got to live like a normal person most of the year. We did a lot of traveling internationally in Rio, Canada, all around the States to promote the brand, and I was part of that. So it was cool, man. It was actually, probably one of the best years I've ever had.
That's awesome. How did you get into bodybuilding? Like, what was growing up like when were you a normal athlete? I should say normal, like were you into baseball or football, basketball as a teenager, or what were you into?
Yeah, I played the traditional sports like basketball, baseball, football. In high school, I actually was a 3-sport athlete, started varsity football and baseball as a sophomore. So I was a pretty good athlete, but, being a younger athlete that good meant I hung around with older guys. So kind of got in a little bit of trouble. I actually, my senior year, probably lost about 25 Division I scholarships being kicked off of all sports that year. It was actually something, an article it's something I don't really like to talk about because I don't like to dwell on it. But, it is part of my life. But, yeah, I played the traditional sports growing up. Even though I didn't play my senior year, I went to a small private school, Division III school, and played football there. So
what position
was involved in sports? It's weird. In high school, I was a running back, free safety. I graduated high school at 195. I ran a 4.45, but once I got to college, man, I'm not gonna lie, I partied my ass off. I think my first year in college, I played cornerback, and after that, I put on 35 pounds, played fullback. So.
You don't have to go into huge detail, but I'm not going to let you get off the hook either. Can you give a little bit of insight into how you lost 25 scholarships?
Drinking. I was one of those kids, man. I was 15 hanging around kids that were 18 and 19, so they're taking me out parties, and it just led to drinking, underage drinking, nothing crazy, I didn't kill anybody or anything like that, but I just drinking at an early age, living life too fast. And
general rebellious behavior.
That's all,
Yeah.
Taylor, you know a thing or two about that, right?
Yeah. Kind of similar without the sports aspirations. So no scholarships were lost. It just went straight to the party.
Yeah. Long story short, it's not that you had a drinking problem, you had a pussy problem.
That's what it was, man. Chicks get you every time.
They do. They have ruined more careers. I remember it was Tiger Woods' father once famously said, "The only thing that can stop my son is women and injury."
In that order, too.
And I think that actually happened in that order. Exactly. So
pretty much.
So you were a stud athlete. That's I don't think that's too surprising because I think we see that in a lot of things. If you're good at something, you can kind of transition that to, it doesn't have to be sports. It can be, business or if you're good at something, it means you're passionate. It means you give it, it means you care. So I'm not too surprised that you've been a successful bodybuilder. Did your family support your bodybuilding as a kid?
Well, I didn't get into bodybuilding until I was 27. It was one of those things where I played sports the whole time. Even after I graduated college, I kind of found my way into bodybuilding in college. Actually, it was weird. My roommate was just a big kid. He was 6'4", about 275, defensive end, like all American, just a stud, like just animal. And he used to work out nonstop, and he pretty much taught me a lot, about bodybuilding. It was the first time I read like a muscular development, like a hardcore mag. Back in like the early 2000s, it seemed like MD was a little more of a hardcore magazine, and I started reading that stuff and kind of getting into weightlifting things. And I didn't really get into bodybuilding until I was 26, 27, so, by then, as far as being supportive, it's not like my mom and dad really had to say, they liked me doing something positive with myself, but,
So let's do a timeline here. How old are you now?
I'm 33. I look a lot younger, everyone says, but yeah, I'm 33.
So 7 years about, roughly, you've been doing this?
Yep. The first 2 years I competed in a natural organization, and then from there jumped to the NPC. So
very cool. And you have a daughter, right?
Yeah, I have a 10-year-old little girl. Her name's Taya.
All right. And does she know what bodybuilding's all about, or is she like completely foreign to what you do?
No, she knows exactly what it's about, but she's at that age where, she kind of gets a little embarrassed by it. It's weird. It's weird. She doesn't like the shows, but yet she loves to show me off to her friends, and all her little friends love me, but when it's just us, she's like, ill, daddy, ill. Or,
nothing but trash talk to you, but nothing but bragging to her friends, right?
Exactly. But she knows what it's about, and she enjoys it. So
did you, I just out of curiosity, when your daughter was born, was that like a 180 turn sort of for you in your life when it comes to just sort of focusing, or did it take some time?
Exactly. No, honestly, I credit my daughter with saving my life. The rate I was going, it was pretty bad. It was just nothing, like, again, nothing crazy, but just going out all the time, partying, and you have a kid, it totally changes your life. You got to live for someone else. And that's what she did. Every decision I make from here on out, it's going to affect her. So that's one of the things I think about almost every day.
Do you think when she gets a little older, will she find her way into the NPC? Would you encourage that or no?
Hell no. Not at all. I would never encourage that.
What if it was a boy?
If it was a boy, honestly, I don't think so, man. I would want him to do something else, but granted, if that's what he wanted to do, I would help him. Something like bodybuilding, I don't think I would encourage for my child,
So the high heels and the glitter and the fake boobs, it's really not for your daughter?
Nah, not at all, man. I want her to go to med school or be a nerd. That's what I want her to fucking be.
Amen to that one. I bet everybody with a daughter is probably smiling and saying absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about your training, nutrition, because after all, it is a bodybuilding show. So now you are working with Chad Nichols, right?
Yeah.
And how long have you guys been working together?
We've been working since about 2008, 2009, something like that.
Almost since the beginning then, huh?
Yeah, it was right, actually. It was 2009 was the first time I started working with Chad. I did his show, and we talked backstage and just hit it off perfectly, and been there ever since.
What did you weigh when you first, like day one, you said, I'm going to do this seriously, not just work out. Like, I'm going to be a bodybuilder. You weighed how much?
I was when I graduated college, I was about 245, but like I said, I drank all the time. I drank a lot of beer and, football player build. I was 241 when I started prep for my first show, and I got down to 189.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was all natty the first 2 years. So my first show I was 189. The second year, I think I was like 194.
And then you met Chad.
Yep, I met Chad.
And then you met Chad, and he said you had potential, I'm assuming, and steered you down a path of what? What is Chad's philosophy on prepping a guy who he sees with, if he listens, he could potentially be an IFBB Pro one day?
His philosophy is just, it's up to me. And the first couple of years, it was one of those things where I didn't understand that it has to be a lifestyle. So I would still do my 3-4 meals a day. And then when it came to prep, I would prep my 6 meals, It wasn't until I think it was 2009, I lost a show, and I realized, I got to live this as a lifestyle. So his philosophy is just hard work, do what you got to do. He's going to give you the blueprint, but at the end of the day, it's up to you, and that's how it should be. Way too many guys I see nowadays put the blame on the coach. But let's be honest. Even if you are doing something silly, you should know, right away to call your coach out. It's your body. We're all grown men here. You know, and we kind of work well together. You know, I put full faith in him, and I know, you know, if I do what he says, then I'll get to where I need to be. You know, like I said, the problem with me in the past has been life situations or, you know, just not being a bodybuilder full time. But I think that's something that's completely changed within the last few years.
Just out of curiosity, Chad, when you listen to stuff like PBW radio, he seems very, he's definitely descriptive and analytical. Is he pretty thorough in explaining why he's telling you to do things, or does he kind of just send it, or does he give you a good rundown of like the whys and teach it sort of to you?
I'm the type of guy, I don't even, if he tells me to do it, I'm going to do it. If I ask him a lot, then he'll explain stuff like that. But me personally, I'm not that type of guy. I got full faith in him, and I understand. I mean, there's never been anything crazy that would make me question him, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I mean, if I ask him a question, he explains stuff. Or like, he's more of one of those guys where he's more analytical. The closer we get to the show, he'll explain why he's doing this, why he's doing that, you know, as opposed to like an off season.
Okay.
So, I mean,
what kind of training is he? What's his philosophy behind training? Is he a volume guy, a high intensity guy? Where does he stand on that?
He's a high intensity. He's kind of a combo, you know. He's all about high intensity, heavy weights, old school training. I mean, he's from that era, you know, his wife Kim and Ronnie. So he's all about moving heavy weights. But then again, he's all about volume too. You know, I think for the most part, like this off season, he just wants me lifting heavy ass weight. So I try to do that for the most part. But you know, you got to be careful. You know, you don't want to get hurt, or you know, I'm just easing back into my program. I don't want to, you know, risk, you know, my joints or anything. So, but it's all about heavyweight, you know, just trying to stimulate that muscle and just make it nasty, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, was there a limit on how big you could get in the off season this past year and a half? Or did you put restrictions? For
sure. Like in 2014 on my weight, we knew I wouldn't compete, you know, and with all the traveling, I think he kind of limited my food. Generally, I was eating 12 ounces of meat portions, and that was even during prep, as opposed to this last year, it was down to like 8 or 9, you know, a cup of rice here or there, and certain supplements that kind of kept my weight in check. I never got over 265 the whole year in 2014, which was crazy. It's weird. After I came off my supplements and everything, my weight started to pick up, and, you know, we just started to gain them about 280, but he kind of kept my weight in check because he knows. I mean, and you guys have seen some of my posts. I kind of overindulge sometimes with the junk food. So
I'm starting to think you have a metabolism like Juan Morel, who can eat 18,000 calories in a sitting.
Yeah, I'm not that close. Mine's good, but Juan's a freak of nature. I don't know how he does that shit. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, I can get away with some stuff, but I can't do the ones.
You used to get really heavy kind of in the off season, didn't you? Back in the day?
Yeah. There was a few times. It was what it was. Is moving to Chcago, man. There's so much good food up here. Just deep dish pizza and this pasta. I think the first year I got here, I got up to like 295, and the heaviest I was before that was like 270, and it was miserable. You know, I could barely tie my shoes. I had to take timeouts playing with my daughter. So we try to keep that in check now because the weight could just shoot up.
What did that prep? How many pounds did you end up losing in that one prep from 295 or wherever you got your high?
I dropped all the way down to 225. That just shows you how much fat I had, you know. And it actually hurt me because we had to do so much cardio that I don't know what happened. My metabolism went nuts, and I ended up losing like the last 3 weeks. I lost like 35 pounds.
Oh,
shit. I was eating so much food, and we just couldn't stop my metabolism. So
yeah, you want that in the beginning of prep, not at the end, right?
Yeah, it was nuts. You know, I had to do so much cardio to make sure I got in shape, and it was just one of those things where things were just going out of control. I mean, that prep I remember because it was 2010 Nationals. I looked awesome, and then the last 3 weeks the last 3 weeks I lost like 35 pounds. I was eating like 4 12-ounce steaks, 12-ounce baked potatoes, all types of food, you know, and I just couldn't hold on to that weight. It was nuts.
What kind of fat burners does Chad recommend?
As far as over the counter supplements, I use all jet fuel super burn. But I mean,
what about those you might not find over the counter?
You know, the standard stuff, the clenbuterol. Every now and then we'll do a T3, but we got to watch it with my metabolism. You know, sometimes some people can take that stuff, but you know, even with the clen, you know, we got to make sure with me personally that I don't take too much. Otherwise, I could just start burning off muscle. You know,
absolutely, yeah. It's a tricky one. If you go too high, you can really start to notice that.
Yeah, T3 can be a death sentence for some guys in fullness and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So we just kind of watch it and play it by ear. Usually, and I've looked my best when I've stayed leaner in the off season, and that's kind of what we're trying to do now. I'm starting to pack on a little bit more weight now. Like I said, we just started up a new program, so I'm starting to pack on a little bit of weight now, but I'm still keeping it fairly clean. He's got me eating really clean during the week, but honestly, on the weekends, it's just a free for all. So
that's awesome. Will he ever, if you need to like when you got up, like Taylor was saying, that 295 down to 225, was it low intensity or was it HIIT cardio? Or was it just a mixture of the both, or what did he use?
Nah, I used low intensity the whole time, but it was like 2 hours. I would do an hour in the morning, hour at night, but it was never high intensity. I'm not a big high intensity fan, man. What's
your poison? Are you on the treadmill, elliptical? What's your deal?
I honestly use something called the Art Trainer. It's like the girliest machine in the gym, but I like use it. It's like an elliptical, basically. I'll use that. I use the Stairmaster when he tells me to. I think he knows my body well enough to know, when I need that or not. So
is the Art Trainer like that one that Tony Little uses on
the Gazelle?
Yeah, on the Choppy Network, and he's just I got that.
Kevin, when you're doing the weekends where you eat wherever, I was out of curiosity, do you have any normal bodybuilding meals, or pretty much every meal is just whatever the fuck?
It just honestly, it depends what I'm craving. I'm not just gonna eat just to eat some shit. Like the other night, I was like, damn, I got a cheat meal, but I really don't feel like anything. So I just had steak and rice, But if I'm craving something, I'll go get it. And the cool thing about up here is there's so many places to eat, but even then you get burnt out,
Yeah, for sure.
So I might just take one of those cheat meals and just have a bunch of cookies, a big bunch of dessert, It just depends.
I support that.
I think it's kind of refreshing, though, because it sounds like you have a pretty good appetite, because we talk to a lot of these pros or top amateurs and they have a hard time eating. But that doesn't sound like that's your problem at all.
Nah, man, I can eat like a horse. It's really never been a problem. The only problem for me sometimes is training my clients. I can't eat really fast. I know a lot of these guys eat in like 5 minutes, and it takes me a little longer to eat my meals, but I've never really had a problem eating.
That's probably why you've never had a problem growing so fast, right?
Yeah. I mean, hey, it works.
Kevin Kobayashi in here. Yeah.
Well, I mean, one thing I've always heard, some of the best bodybuilders are the best eaters. I think it was a quote by Kai one time. He had some crazy meal. It was like $300.
The IHOP fucking fiasco.
Yeah, I think it was something like that. You got to eat to grow. I tell people that you're not going to grow off 6 ounces of chicken. So,
yeah.
Now, will you use or utilize insulin during your off season?
Yeah, we do. We don't do it as much. It's weird. One off season I did it a lot. Now we might do it maybe 2 days a week. We definitely don't do a lot. Anywhere from like 8 to 10 units of Humalog, but nothing crazy. I've heard stories of guys doing like 30 units a day, stuff like that. I mean, it's minimal.
Is that tied around your back and leg day, I imagine?
Yeah, for sure. That's when I try to get it in.
Absolutely.
Those are the parts that really need to come up.
For sure. Now, you're not at the Jay Cutler level as far as being a baller, so we'll call you a baller on a budget. Are you a snob when it comes to gear, or are you using farm only, or are you using UGL, underground lab? Like, where do you draw the line? Will you just, I guess that answers the question. Are you going to use...
I have used UGL, but for the most part, I'd rather spend the money and get the good stuff, I think you have to. It's not like, this is like food or not even food, it's not like you're picking out something for your house. This is something you put in your body. So if all possible, definitely the farm, I'd rather spend the money, and I think it's just better overall for you, cleaner, can get you better results. And with that other stuff, you just never know, but then again, it depends where you are. Some people don't have that option of, being able to pick and choose what they want.
For sure. What's your stance on growth hormone? Because I feel like now you're a pro and you have hookups that most guys don't have, but do you think it's even worth it? Because there's so many even things that look real or fake. What is your take on that? Should you even, if you're an IFBB pro, you almost have to use it. But if you're a top amateur or an aspiring guy who's trying to get from a mid amateur to the national level, and you don't have
a doctor,
exactly. Like, would you try it, or would you just keep pushing the anabolics, which are probably real?
My recommendation would be for local guys to not try it. There's so many counterfeits out here and people have no idea. The funny thing about that too is a lot of people don't even know how to use it right or reconstitute it. I've heard of so many people telling me how they, when they're putting their water in or they're mixing it and they just shoot the water in, you're basically killing your growth. Like I've just talked to like 2 or 3 people the other day about that. So a lot of people really don't know about it. But as far as that, yeah, I think if you're a top level amateur and you're looking to turn pro, then yeah, you definitely need it. But for the most part, there's so many counterfeits out here. I wouldn't even risk my time with it if I'm just a local guy, or someone doing it as a hobby. It's just not worth it. It's too expensive.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Now, what about peptides? Are you using any of those or no?
I have tried GHRP6. I feel like it helped my appetite a little bit, but the other peptides I've never really used. I've actually gotten free samples from companies, and I haven't tried them. I don't know why. I just never really touched them.
Taylor, you want to tell them about your experience with one you actually like?
The CJC 1295 is supposed to be. A lot of people are saying they're getting results. I've never used actual growth, and it's extremely hard for me to get just where I am, and I just don't have the money for it. So there's a few that actually work pretty good if you're not on growth. And a lot of people are trying to say, usually guys who are representing the fucking peptide companies, that it's equal to a certain amount of IUs. I can't compare it there, but I think there are some that are good options for guys who don't have access to the good growth.
Yeah. I've heard good things, but yeah, I've never tried it myself.
Yeah, if you already have the real shit, then I don't think there's any reason to real switch it up from what I've heard.
Yeah.
So it is, we're recording this January 19th, and you have, what is that, almost 4.5 months until your show. Is that right, or 5.5 months?
5.5.
5.5 months.
Don't get crazy there.
Yeah, let's not go losing our heads. So you're obviously still growing. You haven't switched gears into prep mode, right?
No, I won't do that. I actually just started up a new program last week, and we're going to try and put on some weight, but again, keep it fairly lean. I'll start prep probably April. I'm going to the Arnold in Australia around middle of March. So 2 weeks after that, I'll go right into prep.
Right on. And will you do 6 meals a day, 7 meals a day? What's your prep going to look like as far as macros go? It's
generally 6 meals. I'm not sure the exact macro count. I couldn't give you that right now because each prep's a little different. But it has been 7 meals. It honestly just depends on where I'm at, how I look, and what he thinks I need. We've gotten to the point where we've changed the prep up, like every few days, every 2-3 days, depending on how my body changes and adjusts. So,
does Chad generally add much fats to the meals, or is it kind of just like fats from steak and whole eggs and stuff like that?
We will add olive oil. But we do a lot of steak. He does a lot of steak with me. I eat, on average, probably 2 red meat meals a day, which is awesome,
Yeah, no shit.
But we do throw some olive oil in. When we go real low carbs, we'll throw some olive oil in. Every now and then, we'll throw some nuts in.
Gotcha.
So there's a little mix.
For sure.
Are you a fan of bodybuilding itself?
Honestly, I'm a huge fan of bodybuilding. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of where the sport's going as far as like the social media aspect taking over and, seeing all these fucking douchebags. But I definitely love the sport. And, I'm a huge fan of the sport. I think I'll always be one, Yeah.
So that's cool. And going back to where the sport's going, is it, you mean more of like along the lines of how bodybuilding is becoming less and less popular and, the guys in board shorts and all these female divisions are
Instagram
everywhere.
Famous?
Exactly. Things like that. But it is what it is. It's, sign of the times, you gotta adapt with it. But
the irony, and we've said this before on Project Bodybuilding and some of the other, on Facebook and whatnot, but if you look at the Olympia finals or the Arnold finals, there's no way you're going to pack out that arena if you take away men's bodybuilding.
No.
But on the same token, bodybuilding is the smallest group. And they're building all the other, they're building the other divisions, which really have no fan draw at all.
No.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but
yeah, it is what it is. I think the thing is, though, those local shows, if you look at the attendance, and all the tickets and the fucking NPC cards, entry fees, that's when that stuff starts to add up,
Yeah, for sure. It's not uncommon to have 300 combined, or even I've seen 400 bikini and men's physique combined, and then like 65 bodybuilders.
Yeah, so someone's making a killing off that somewhere.
No shit, and everyone brings.
So it's not my business.
Iron Mag Labs is the creator of the most hardcore bodybuilding supplements on the market. Makers of the original formula Super DMZ and now Super DMZ 3.0, Iron Mag Labs brings you the strongest legal pro hormones on the market. Also available are Epitren, Halo Extreme, Epistane, and Asta RX. Go to ironmaglabs.com right now and order from a wide selection. If you are a fan of Project Bodybuilding, please support this company. ironmaglabs.com, the most hardcore bodybuilding supplements on the market. Period. Evolution Peptides is one of the best known and most trusted chemical supply and research peptide sites on the internet. Check out Evolution Peptides for yourself. They're an American-made company and stock many of the most popular products, from melanotan 2 to GHRP2, as well as all the great research chems. Evolution has spent years developing strong supplements, dependability, a huge selection, and quick delivery. Evolution Peptides are also a big supporter of Projectbodybuilding.com, and if you like the site, you've got to like them too. In the world of peptides, Evolution has everything you need. Check them out at evolutionpeptides.com.
If you're a fan, I got to ask you some IFBB questions from one fan to another fan. How far do you think Phil can take this run of Olympia titles? Can he keep going, or are his days numbered?
I'd say it's hypothetical, man. I mean, it depends how much he improves. To be quite honest, I don't think he's really improved much from 2011 till now. But he's a champ, and I think he can make, great strides. In my personal opinion, and I don't want to sound like a hater, I think he's getting close to being maxed out. So Personally, I think his days might be numbered, but I think he could definitely pull away another three titles.
If nobody improves along, while he regresses more.
Yeah.
Would you say, here's the problem, because I do agree with you, but I want to get your take on this, because Kai also seems to be regressing. And then is it going to be Dennis Wolf, or is it going to be Sean Roden, or who do you think, or maybe even Justin Compton, who everybody has as like the next big swinging dick in bodybuilding?
I hate to say it, man, but I saw some pics of Justin the other day that just had me saying, holy fuck, all day. And this was at 275. And I seriously was just like, holy fuck, all day. That kid, the progress I call him the White Rami. The progress he's made is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to make a big statement this year. I don't know if they're going to bump him into that class of guys. Because you guys know how it works. You guys know how it works. I mean, they're not just going to throw some fresh face in the mix with Phil, Kai, and all the old guys. It doesn't work like that. You got to earn your stripes, I think. But I think Wolf could be right up there this year. It just depends. Dennis will come out looking superb some shows, and then others, it's like what happened. But I mean, he really impressed me last year. I'm always a fan of his physique. I think Roden could be right there. To me, Roden has the most potential to grow as far as putting on new muscle. I think if he fills his upper body up, just sticking up a little bit, he could be right there. You just never know,
What does that do with your psyche, though? It's not like I'm talking to my neighbor who just happens to lift weights. You're an IFBB pro, and you're talking about how great Compton looks right now. And we'll be honest, you're not there yet. Does that fuck with you mentally, or does that make you get in the gym and want to lift harder, or does that where does that put you, knowing that guy's a good 30 pounds heavier than you are?
It doesn't fuck with me. I don't think you can let shit like that fuck with you, because we're at two different levels. He turned pro. I think in bodybuilding, things happen for a reason. I beat Justin in 2011, and from there, he's just catapulted. He's taken the sport by storm. But I think things happen for a reason. And it's just different timing. He's where he's at because of his work ethic. And you can't take anything away from him. God busts his ass. He's a full-time bodybuilder, whereas I chose a different route. But as far as, not motivating me or discouraging me, not at all. If anything, it makes me want to work harder and get to that sport. And like I said, I know I can compete with those guys. I'll be up there someday, but it definitely doesn't discourage me. But it is one of those things, seeing him where it's pretty fucking cool to see the progression he's made up to now. It's almost insane.
Yeah, he's crazy. Just because you mentioned them, any feedback or input on what Rami's up to now that he's switched coaches? Anything? Any inside information?
I think right now he's just taking it easy. I think I don't know. That's a tough one, man. I don't want to disclose too much. That's not my business. But
For sure.
he's just over. I think he's enjoying his family time, and he's trying to make the best out of his new situation. He was pretty disappointed after Olympia, and it's crazy, man. The guy was heartbroken, and it was hard for me to listen to him. He pretty much poured his heart out to me for an hour back at the expo, and he was upset, man. This guy, for someone being fairly new in the sport, he lives and dies bodybuilding, and I don't think too many people realize that. And he's going to be scary this year.
Yeah, he's
Does he speak pretty good English? Because you don't hear much.
When it's funny as hell, because when it's with multiple people, he'll shy up a little bit. And the first time I met him was like 2012 Olympia, and the only word he knew was thank you. And then we see him at the Arnold, and he's like, hey, Kevin, or it was after I've turned pro, he's like, Kevin, congratulations on your pro. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? He speaks perfect English when he's with me. So one-on-one, he can speak pretty well. I haven't seen him since the Olympia, and I'm sure his English has improved even more since then. You know what?
He's working with the Cito. He's working with the Cito now, so he's probably going to sound like he's from Maine with the Boston accent.
Probably, man. But yeah, I'm sure it's improved even more now. Because a few months from the Olympia to Arnold, it was like night and day. It kind of freaked me out, but he's a good guy, man. He's one of those guys where he's just genuine. You can tell he's a great guy, and even with the language barrier, he comes across as just being a good human being.
For sure. Not too common in the sport, I guess.
Exactly.
So we got Chcago Pro coming up, and it's kind of been Rolly's show for the past couple of years. I don't know if Rolly's going to be doing it again. I don't think anybody knows. Not. Maybe you do. Yeah, I know. But hypothetically, let's say Rolly Winkler is in the show, and let's just say he happens to win again, and you come in second or third or fourth or whatever be a good outing for you. Where does that leave you for the rest of 2015?
I think no matter what, I'm definitely going to do another show just to get my face. I'm definitely competing at least twice. Get my face on from the judges. And then from there, it's game planning, But I definitely want to do 2 shows. I've been off for a while, no matter what. And I hate saying that no matter what shit, because my goal is to win, at the end of the day. But no matter where I place, it's just going to be a learning experience, Like this isn't going to make or break me one show. If I do good, we're going to go use that momentum and go from there. If the show doesn't land how we want to land, we're going to figure out what we need to do to improve and just keep working. This is a sport that I personally plan to be around for a long time. So, we'll just see how it goes, and then we'll go from there and game plan. But as far as shows, I'm definitely going to do 2 this year. I think from here on out, I want to try at least 2 to 3 shows a year just to try to, get my face out there and eventually make it to the Olympia stage. That's the goal for every bodybuilder,
The fans always are the first to, when people only do like one show every year or 2 years, that kind of upsets them. So, that's a really quick way to get the fans kind of on your side too, when you're repeatedly putting it out there.
Yeah, and then, just showing the judges that you improve each time, I think that's big too, you guys know who I am, but I don't, me not competing in a while, a lot of the people aren't even going to know who I am. So I'll be in a big lineup, and I just want to do some, hopefully my physique will let me stand out well enough. If not, then, we just want to keep improving each time.
Cool. That's also, like you said, winning is important to you. Because I think one of the things that, as a fan of bodybuilding, and I know probably Taylor and a lot of the guys listening to this can agree with that, as much as everybody loves Evan Centopani, after a while, it irritates people when he says it's all about self-improvement. Because at the end of the day, you want to win too. And I think it's nice to hear you actually say you give a shit about winning.
Yeah, I
think that's important to hear.
I hate when I hear people say if I place 4th or if I get this call, if I get that. I don't do this shit for that. You do it to win. I don't sacrifice so much of my body, time with my family, expenses to fucking get a 4th or 5th place. You want to win every fucking show, and if not, something's wrong with you. You don't have the passion for it. shouldn't be in the sport. That's my opinion, you know?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think everyone should, you should want your opponents to feel the same way. You know, everyone should be trying to win.
Exactly. I mean, granted, there are certain shows, you know, like the Olympia, you know, where you want to place top 5, but this
you're still training like you're planning on winning, though, right?
Winning, exactly. It kills me when I hear people say, "Oh, if I make first call out, fuck a first call out. I want to win the show."
Yeah, for sure. Respect that.
KJ, are you ready for 10 questions?
Yes, sir.
All right. Taylor, cue the music. Question number 1. What would you rather have? $1 million tax-free or 1 Olympia win?
Give me $1 million.
So much for that winning thing, huh?
You can buy a fucking sand up.
Hey, if I got $1 million, I'm already winning.
Amen, right? Question number 2. When your daughter first brings a boy home for a date, are you the type of father that A, is like Mike Lowry in Bad Boys 2, like B, sitting in between them at the movie, or like the father that C, prays she likes chicks?
Dude, that's a weird one because I've said C and people have looked at me crazy. I'd say I'm a combination of A and C.
A and C.
You just don't want to go watch the shitty movies with them. Is that what it is?
No, not at all.
By the way, have you seen Frozen?
Of course I have. Do you want to build a snowman?
Oh, fuck, don't start.
Love that movie.
I got a 3-year-old. It's I know the whole damn thing.
That's amazing. Question number 3. Who do you look like more? Blake Griffin of the LA Clippers or The Rock circa 1990?
I hate you for this one. If you ask a lot of people, they'd probably say The Rock. A lot of haters are going to say Blake because of the red hair, but I'm going to go with The Rock. A lot of Brazilians thought I was The Rock in Rio.
Nice.
Make a footnote. The Rock from 1993.
Broke Rock.
All right, here we go. Question number 4. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or Call of Duty?
Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Good answer. All right. Question number 5. If you're stranded on a deserted island, what 3 things would you bring with you?
What 3 things? Food, a chick, and a tub of protein.
Perfect.
The necessities.
I like how the
AJ
woman,
starter pack.
Yeah, the woman is a thing. It's one of the possessions you can bring with you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Good answer. Good answer, both of you. All right, question number 6. Trapped on a plane from Chicago to Australia, would you rather be in coach in the middle seat between Big Ramy and Kai Green, or in first class but next to Sean Ray and Bob Chick?
I'd probably, honestly, dude, Kai and Ramy all day. Sorry.
What is it about Sean and Bob you want to run the other direction?
It'd probably be the shirts.
Too loud. The shirts will be too loud.
There you go. Okay, question number 7. When somebody randomly asks you, are you on steroids? What do you tell them?
I kind of hesitate, and then I'm like, what? No way. I'd be much bigger if I was on that stuff.
You go for the modest route. I like it.
Pretty much. I mean, come on. It's not legal. I don't know these people.
That's true. They could be narcs. All right. Question number 8. This one's a really tough one because it's
funny question about that last. Hey, a funny one about that last question. A guy asked me if I was on juice, and I used Kai's answer. He asked me what juice, and I was like, "What do you mean, apple or orange?" So it was pretty funny.
All right. Question number 8. Amanda Latona, Nathalia Melo, and Nicole Wilkins come up to your room before the Chcago Pro completely naked with desserts. Do you send them away or have the night of your life and come back strong at the Tampa Pro?
I'm doing work, and I'm coming back, and I'm killing Tampa.
Yes, that was the correct answer. Let's mark that as right.
Real.
Question number 9. Oh, there is a bonus question after number 10, by the way. Question number 9. Men's physique competitors or CrossFitters? Who do you kill first?
Who do I kill first?
Yeah, I mean, who do you kill first?
CrossFitters.
They might kill themselves.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Fair enough.
All right. Question number 10. Do you know what Jason 15 means?
I have no idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, he does not know what Jason 15 means. Are you familiar with the internet sensation, Jason Genova?
Oh, yeah. I know that guy.
Proving another point that you can be a half retard and be more famous than an IFBB pro. So.
Oh, you guys are horrible.
we love Jason 15. Use that code, Jason 15. Blackstone Labs. And bonus question. This one is from a listener. His name is Rambone Hancock. He asked, does tilapia thin the skin?
Does tilapia thin the skin? I think getting rid of the fat thins the skin.
Good answer.
So I would tell him to work out.
Rambone, you got to work out.
Get yourself one of those gazelles and you'll be good to go.
KJ, any plugs? I know you wanted to shout out G.A.T. I've been calling him G.A.T. my whole life, but they're G.A.T.
I call him G.A.T. too. I kind of like G.A.T. It's like I got a gun, but yeah, they want to go by G.A.T. So I definitely got to give a big, huge shout out to my sponsors, G.A.T. Definitely wouldn't be where I am without these guys. And like I tell people, the difference with these guys, their products actually work. I use them all. I love them. So big thanks to G.A.T. Also, my man, Chad Nichols, best trainer in the world. I definitely got to give him a huge plug. And big thanks to you guys for having me on the show, man. It was awesome. It was pretty fun. It was actually pretty refreshing, joke around and laugh, but then talk about some serious stuff. So thank you guys also.
Yeah, thank you, brother. You have a good off season and continue your best in prep for Chcago, and we'll be pulling for you. Thanks a lot. Taylor, anything?
No, man. I was just going to say thanks for coming on. We've been big fans. We like following you along because you're one of the only guys who actually post funny shit that's worth reading. So thanks for joining us and shooting the shit.
Yeah, thanks, man. I've been battling guys all day about some silly stuff. It's kind of fun.
I was reading that one yesterday. It was following.
Oh, well, dude, that girl's a porn star, so she made me her MCM, so all her fucking fans started just talking shit. It was ridiculous.
All the jealous little porn fiends.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's good times.
And on that note, we'll see you guys for the next part of the show.